Welcome to another episode of It Figures Podcast at itfigurespodcast.com, a part of the Pop Culture Network. I am, of course, Lord Killen, along with
Intern Rick.
And it's just the two of us. You can just the two of us.
Yeah.
Him and I.
You and
Is that grammatically correct? I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, welcome to the Toy and Action Figure Podcast on the Pop Culture Network. Today we're going to talk about the latest and greatest in your toy and action figure news. Starting with, it's your turn. It's your turn.
It's my turn.
Of course, before we start, let me just say this. Dirt is a no-show because, insert random reason why, but he just decided not to come. He said, you guys do it tonight. I want to stick around and just kind of do my own thing tonight, and you guys go ahead and do the podcast. And I said, whatever, dude. And I was like, so, but really, why? And he's just like, I was like, okay, it's Dirt. You never get a straight answer with him, so I was like, okay, whatever.
But that's okay, because I'm back.
Yeah.
I took a 2-week hiatus, but I'm back.
So people were freaking out, where Rick was, and so here you are.
If it was really that much of a concern, I had a family emergency in week 1, and I was sick in week 2. I'm terribly sorry.
You're sick a lot. I think if we took attendance, I'm pretty sure we might need to call a doctor for you and find out. You have to go to some kind of clinic or I don't know.
Maybe.
And as you may notice, we're shooting from a different angle this time. We're going to shoot.
Switching it up.
We're behind some of our smaller glass cases where you can find all
Switching
kinds
it
of
up.
random loose things.
Awesome goodies at shoppcn.com.
Anyways, talk about the news.
Talk about the news.
I don't got all day. Time is money.
NECA has announced that they are finally shipping their Series 2 Evil Dead 2 action figures. These will include a typical Ash figure with the chainsaw and all of, the typical Ash goodiness. But this figure includes the possessed, crazy deer head that hangs on the wall in the cabin and screams and laughs. Do you remember this deer head? I love the deer head.
How big is it?
The deer head itself,
Mm-hmm.
it's in proportion with the figure itself. So it's probably about this big. So I love it whenever NECA does these little throw-in add-on accessories with their figures.
And that looks exactly the same Ash figure that I've seen a bazillion times.
He is a little different,
Except he's got a dumbfounded look on his face. Like, whoa.
He does kind of have a dumbfounded look on his face. This is true. And, in addition, they're adding a new character. Instead of doing another Ash, they're actually going to release the Henrietta zombie, which, if you don't know who Henrietta is, she was the big old, nasty, gross-looking...
Fat old lady
zombie.
You know what I really like to see now looking at Ash and looking at the zombie? They should do a crossover from Walking Dead and meets Ash. He would be a really good survivor.
That would be a really good crossover. I like that idea. Hey, Kirkman.
I want him to come out there and just start, shooting zombies and chaining them up.
This figure comes packed with an interchangeable head that actually has a really long, bendable neck. But other than that, they've stated that they hope that this is Series 2 of what will be a 57 series line. What? They will have 57 series in this Evil Dead action figure series.
How? That's impossible.
This is Series 2. They're hoping to do 57 series.
That's just them, we'd like to do it. I'd like to do 100,000 series of whatever I'm making.
Well, that's what they say, is that they hope that it'll be 57 series. So far they've only done 2 figures per wave per series, and if they're going to try and just focus on maybe doing some form of a weird Ash variant with a different look and then a secondary character for the second figure, they could prolong it forever.
Yeah, but how many Ashes do you need? A different look on his face. Who cares?
Some people like that. Some
Who?
people like...
Who?
There are lots of...
Who?
People out there. Hit
Who?
the forums, let us know, show the support for the multiple Ash figures.
No one likes multiple Ash.
Everybody loves
That's a
multiple
fact.
Ash.
I'm pretty sure if you're taking your SATs, there is a question that asks that, and the answer is false. No one likes that. That's 20 points, just in case.
There are probably people out there who are like, man, kill him. I think you're off the mark here.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
All right, we've got some greatest hits figures coming from NECA. They've announced a 25th anniversary Predator figure of Dutch from the original Predator movie. I'm pretty sure that's the first time that this character has been done to this scale and with the Arnold Schwarzenegger likeness. I could be wrong. YouTube, let me know. They are doing a red Predator from the Predator series, and they have announced the Prometheus,
of course,
action figure series. And finally, we're getting a Kyle Reese from the Terminator movie series. He looks actually pretty good. Looks pretty spot on, the actor-character likeness.
From what series? Is that from the Sarah Connor?
No, this
Connor
is
Chronicles?
the first Terminator movie.
I don't remember.
He was the hero. That's John Connor's dad.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
That guy.
Wow, what a super good job he did.
So.
Okay.
Gollum.
Moving off. Gollum. From the Lord of the Rings.
This one is really cool. I like this one. They're doing a spring-loaded holster RoboCop. Anybody who loves RoboCop and has seen RoboCop is going to know that the leg, pops open and the holster jets out and he pulls his gun out and spins it around on his finger and puts it back in.
It's called Auto 9.
So
Auto 9. That's
okay.
the name of the gun.
Okay.
Get it right.
Okay.
Get it right. You're going to talk about RoboCop. You better talk about it correctly.
Okay.
Omnicorp. Represent.
So. And
We're still talking about the NECA thing?
We are.
Okay.
We're going on here. And we've got a Dream Warriors Freddy with the furnace diorama. Continuing with that reusing of the body and, building on the character line for
So what's so
figures.
special about that one?
He comes with the furnace diorama.
Yeah, but what's so special about the Freddy?
Honestly, really nothing.
He's got a face.
It's a Freddy that was as featured in Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, but he's really just another Freddy. For me, all of the new NECA stuff is really about the pack-ins and all the stuff that you get in addition to, like this, the little things that you wouldn't get anywhere else.
So you're gonna buy it?
Maybe.
Gee, that sounds so convincing. Why? If you're not gonna buy it, why would we?
So. Have you seen this commercial for the Castle Grayskull Man?
No. Like, you mean like on TV?
No. Yes, on TV. Of course, on TV.
You said commercial. That's what I hear.
Apparently, the winner, the contest winner, who created the figure, has thrown together a commercial and posted it online to advertise for his figure.
The winner.
The winner.
Castle Grace.
The guy who created Castle Grayskull Man.
Well, doesn't that automatically eliminate him?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
As per the rules and regulations, that you cannot advertise the character that is part of now Mattel property. I think that's how that one guy lost the one that was a gangster.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe because he already won. He's able to do
maybe.
this. But he used vintage figures to do this. I don't know. It was kind of cool, I guess.
Oh, so you're just telling us there was a commercial?
Yes, there
Okay.
was a commercial.
There's a commercial. I thought there was more. I thought he was gonna say, and in that commercial, something important. But no, that's not how that went at all.
No, not really.
You're gonna do a little better job at explaining what you're talking about. Because you're losing me.
I'm losing you? Clearly. Anyway,
All right.
so. Who would have guessed that the Masters Universe Classics line is in jeopardy again this year?
Yeah, you think?
Apparently, subscription percentages are incredibly low. Last report was 46% of goal for subscriptions.
Who's really surprised? If you guys, if you want to do yourself, if you want to have a good read, go to Maddie's Facebook page and just look at any of the postings they made about the subscription, and then read everybody's hateful comments, and you'll get like 30 pages of fun, happy goodness. Nobody is happy with Mattel's subscription thing right now with Masters, because and this is a problem. You can look at it two ways. Mattel is bullying people and saying, you have to buy this or you're not going to have a good chance of getting this figure when it comes out. Not only are we going to charge you more for it, but there may not even be none available. Because we're going to give everybody who has a subscription first crack at them. We're going to let them buy as many as they want. And it's kind of like, why don't... And here's the problem with the subscription service altogether. One, I don't even know what I'm buying. Sight unseen. You're going to give me a couple figures and let me know what I'm getting, and there's a bonus. And then there's a bunch of other stuff I have to buy way down the line. If I'm a hardcore fan, not a big deal. And I've done the subscription. I know how it works. I'm not complaining about that aspect. I'm just saying that's a hard sell. Number two, you threatening and forcing a subscription on the people seems a little harsh. Now, I understand that you want to know that you're going to have X amount of items sold. And that's fine. That works. That works. You know, I like the idea I can get a subscription so I don't have to mess around with the website. But when you're like trying to say there's a good chance you won't get these figures if you don't get our subscription, that's a little intimidating, and it feels like you're threatening. And even though you may or may not, I mean, I understand their whole concept. Hey guys, we only have so many. A lot of people are going to get subscriptions, and there's a good chance that you might not get this figure. And which makes sense. If we only have 100 and we got like 98 subscription guys, you know, there's a good chance that you may not be able to buy this figure because we're making lower quantities, and we're not going to reissue. But that's not how they said it. They went out there and actually said, yeah, you guys are going to get screwed if you don't get the subscription.
And that's my biggest problem with the situation. If that's how you're going to go about doing things, just make the line a subscription-only line to begin with. That way there's no animosity and no hard feelings over what's going on. You know, if you're going to make it to where, in order to guarantee that you're going to get these figures, or to even guarantee that there are going to be day of figures available, just do a subscription service.
Open subscription. You can enroll anytime from this point forward, but we have only so many subscriptions available. So if like 4 months down the road you want to jump on, you can from that point on and be a subscriber. But
yeah, do it like the Stephen King.
But just put like say we only have 15 left, so the next 15 people sign up, that's it. We're gone. We're out of subscriptions. And if you didn't order at the beginning, oh well. But at least you can get from the point you signed on to the end. And maybe you allow people to drop out. And if somebody drops out, then you offer their subscription up for purchase to somebody else. I don't know. Maybe. That might be a good idea. But more importantly, don't talk... I don't know if it's Toy Gurus or somebody else's who just came across incorrectly when they were giving out the statement about the subscriptions. I understand what he was trying to say, and he was saying something that made sense, but the way they said it was like, dude, I don't think you just read what you said, because there's a good way of saying it, and you didn't do it.
Well, I think we've got this statement here. Should we read this statement?
Might as well.
Okay.
Paraphrasing.
This is from Toy Guru. He says there have been a few changes from the past years. The most noticeable is a pricing increase on basic figures. To quote any rumors, I can confirm we are not overloading our pockets here. This price increase is 100% due to the skyrocketing cost of producing these figures over the last few years. TMNT $8.99 a figure. Every 6-inch figure is handmade and hand-assembled, and honestly, we just can't keep 2008 pricing anymore in 2013. Labor, raw material, and shipping has all gone way up. We really don't want to reduce cost of figures by removing deco and or accessories. To maintain the same high quality and value in our figures in today's economy, prices need to go up, and there is another change. Much like with our partnership at HotWheels.com in 2013, we are going to be switching much more to a subscription-only model. Some figures will still have extremely limited day of stock, but many figures for the clubs will have none at all. This means the only way to know for sure that you'll be able to complete your collection for all lines is to subscribe for the full year. Why do we need to do this? Basically, it's economics. High-end, fully detailed, highly articulated figures take a lot of resources to produce. In the new economy, we are faced with many production challenges, and the solution available to us is to only produce high-end collector figures if we have locked-in guaranteed sales. So what does this mean? Seriously, if you're a fan of Masters Classics or the Watchmen or the DC Universe, It's a decision time. Quantities of day of stock will be, and I mean this in the nicest way, ridiculously low or non-existent. Non-existent. Many figures for all lines will be offered. Many figures for lines will not be offered day of sale at all.
I don't buy that at all.
While we would love for our collector lines to work for every collector's particular buying habits or individual economic situation, but at the end of the day, under the new economy in today's world in 2013, we just can't do that. If you're a fan of our lines, the sub is now your way to make sure you get your figures. If you're counting on day of sales, you very well may be out of luck. We know this won't work for every customer, but it's the reality of the situation. Now, we're going to do everything we can to plus up the subs as much as possible. In addition to sub-only figures like King He-Man and being able to vote on the Fans' Choice figure for 2013, MOTUC sub holders will also get items like the Sub Preternia map, the Origin of Skeletor mini comic, and all sub holders will get sneak peeks at upcoming figures well ahead of the general public. That's fine and dandy.
No.
But
sneak peeks in my butt. As soon as that information is out, it's everywhere on the internet.
yeah,
That doesn't even matter.
yeah. Like as soon as the very first sub holder gets that exclusive early information, it's on Facebook and everybody knows. And it's not like you can, get them to a sworn right of secrecy or something crazy in order to keep them to not spill the beans to anybody else. So,
yeah, and the map, I gotta be honest, I don't care about those maps. Who cares? The comic, maybe. Yeah, I'll take that. But yeah, that's not really plussing up the subscription. And then allowing the vote, I can only vote if I'm a subscriber. Okay, if you want to alienate, a lot of them fans, I guess that's a good way of doing that.
Yeah. We are also adding early access in 2013, which gives all subscriber holders the chance to buy all non-subscription items for any brand approximately 2 to 3 business days before the general public. Which means any of those who have chipped in and have bought the subscription will get first-hand dibs at any day of product 3 days before those
and the way that they make it sound is like for any of their products, anything Mattel sells, if we're selling it online, whether it be exclusives, cons, whatever, if you're a subscriber holder, you're going to get your chance to buy all the stuff way in advance. Which means if there's anything good coming out, like a con exclusive that they put on the site, all the subscribers, they're going to be bought.
Yeah.
They're going to be gone.
For sure.
So, yeah, you will be super screwed if you don't have a subscription. And that's the problem I don't like. I totally understand the concept of a subscription, but what you're saying is we're going to allow these people to go out, because we're going to say we're also not going to reproduce anything. That we're going to let them go out there and buy it all up and sell it on eBay and screw all you non-subscription holders. Now, it makes me want to buy one subscription just because, I feel like if I don't, I'm going to get super screwed. But also, with the cost adjustment and the way the line's shaping up and the way it's very vague at best, I don't know if I want to continue to buy the subscription.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I've really been considering it for this year, just because there are a lot of key figures that are going to be coming out this year that I don't want to miss out on, that I know that if there are none available for day of sales, or if I miss out on that day of sale figure, that they're going to just be ridiculously expensive to buy in the secondary market. And I think that's also something that they're trying to do, is they're trying to make people, I think we had, I think we may have had a voicemail or something last week about how somebody was totally okay with the rising costs of the Masters of the Universe Classics figures because they've been spending the $50 and $60 on the secondary market for them anyway. What do you think that's going to do to those figures once these, if you think $50 and $60 is bad, it's only going to go up from there. So,
yeah, well, the problem is with the secondary market now is totally dead on Masters figures. I mean, you can buy anything. Sometimes you can buy figures cheaper than actual sale price. I mean, that's starting to turn around now recently. But I mean, hell, it's worth paying the extra $10 if I have to buy a figure that if I just wanted the one, versus committing the $500 and some they say that this whole subscription is going to cost, not including full-on shipping costs and tax costs, which is going to be,
Yeah, that's the other thing that's really shisty about this whole situation is they're not actually fully disclosing what the cost of the subscription is going to be. They're just telling you what the base cost is for the actual product that you're going to be receiving. They're not telling you how much you're going to be spending on shipping every year, and that's going to be an additional $10 to $12.
And they can't really. I guess the tax and the shipping prices will fluctuate over the year. So, but they should give you an average idea of what it may cost you entirely, if they're going to disclose the full price. Now, I know they're saying this is just what it's going to cost for figures, which makes sense. But help me out by saying, and this is about what it would cost you completely, roughly, because we all know that taxes go up and down, shipping prices go up, they don't go down. So I figure if they said this is what it should cost you realistically altogether, that would have been a way more honest statement. Of course, it would have been a little more hurtful to them selling subscriptions, I'm sure. But help me out here and don't tell me 525 when really it's more like 9 something. You know what I mean?
Right. And I don't really buy into the whole, okay, so maybe cost of materials is going up, but I don't really buy into that being the major factor of their price difference. Whenever we do have figures like the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles line coming out, very articulated, very accessory heavy, and coming in at under a $10 price mark for retail stores. So,
I think the problem with that is like it's a mass market item, so they're probably reproducing millions of them, and the Masters line is maybe getting 100,000, maybe. I don't know how much. I mean, that's probably high. They're probably maybe 20,000 figures, which may account for why the pricing is a little higher. But I gotta say, $5 jump is because then they said it was only gonna be like a $2 or $3 bump.
Well, that was last year. Now we're talking this year. So they bumped it up to $2 or $3 last year. Now they're bumping it up another $2 or $3.
Yeah,
we're talking from original price point. We're talking a $7 or $8 price increase from.
I can't even remember the price on them, how much they cost, because I've had a subscription forever, and I haven't bought any because I used to buy them when the first line came out. You could buy them and you can go on, take them right on eBay and make a little bit of money. I used to buy 4 of them so I can keep 1 or 2 of them and then sell the other 2 and kind of help make up the cost. But that's not happening anymore. That's just not going to work. Maybe with I almost feel like I have to get a subscription at this point, because if I don't get these figures, I'm not going to be able to have a good chance of getting them. If they're not going to reproduce them, the prices are going to be out of control on eBay. So this is the first year where I'm like, great, I don't want a subscription, but I feel like if I don't get one.
That's exactly how I feel. Like, I feel like it upsets me. Like, I feel like I have to. Like, it's not even one of those things where I feel like I've got a choice. Ram Man is coming out. I want that figure. And if I don't subscribe, I'm probably not going to get him.
And I guarantee you that one's going to be a sellout.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because he's been wanted for so long. And then we've got Natessa coming out, which was a hard figure to find in the Princess of Power vintage line. So she's going to be well in demand for this line to come out. So there's... I don't know, I kind of feel like in a way they stacked the deck and brought their A game all at the same time this year.
Yeah, it's a little shady. The whole deal is like totally mismanaged, and I'm sure somebody at Mattel is gonna feel a little bit of heat for this. Scott. So I don't know. I'm kind of curious what everybody's thinking. I mean, and obviously this is gonna start a huge war on hateful Mattel, but you know what? I don't even care. Go ahead, say your hateful comments, because at this point I'm just like, I'm not upset at Mattel. I just think you guys are handling this the worst possible way.
And the most recent statement is that basically everything that we've just gone over means that if the percentage does not hit 100% of expectation for the subscription service, that means there will be fewer figures for the next round at higher costs. They're saying $30 to $35 a figure and only 4 to 6 figures for an entire year. I don't even know if that's necessarily bad.
No, that's actually probably a way better
I really
deal.
don't. I don't know if that's really bad.
Because at least I could buy it, one every other month, and I feel like, this figure has some value to it because it's cost so much. Instead of saying that, they're mass produced and given away and everybody has them.
I think it would be kind of cool for it.
I like owning.
Six
I don't like
figures a year.
owning Masters figures, but I also like knowing that no one's got them.
Yeah.
But I feel like everybody has these figures, and they're everywhere. That's the part I don't like about them. That's what's been turning me off lately about the line. Is like, man, everybody's got these figures. If one day I need to sell them, or I feel like I'm going to have the hardest time getting rid of them. They're going to be like impossible to sell. I mean, just look at the Masters Universe 2000 figures. Those things are not really valuable. Not really.
Yeah, there are a few figures out there. There are a few characters out there that do maintain some value. And the weird thing about that is, 5 years ago they were semi-valuable, then now,
because
like, you can get most of them.
What do they cost at retail? Like
at retail, I want to say they were $7.99.
So now they're like $25.
So
you know which ones
even less than that.
You know the ones that really did well, the commemorative. Those things are worth some money.
Yes, those are worth some money. They need to do another round of those.
So, I don't know. The whole thing's upsetting, and it makes me want to cry. And I don't know what I'm going to do at this point because I feel like I need to do a subscription, but I'm so sick of those random ass charges in the middle of the month occurring and hitting my credit card. I'm like, great, there we go. What's coming now? And then like 4 or 5 days later, we shipped your item. I'm like, great. I'm more excited when that box arrives that I can reuse the shipping materials on an order that I got to ship out.
You're more excited for the white mailer than anything else.
I feel like if they could just send me a bunch of boxes, I'd be happier with my purchase. Can I get a box subscription? Or you just send me a stack of boxes every month? I don't know.
That's funny. So, for any of you collectors out there that are doing the whole Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles thing, they have hit the stores. They are selling out. I have been to local Toys R Us probably 2 or 3 times in the last several weeks, and pegs are empty. I will let everybody know that April and Krang are short-packed, 1 figure per case, and that's going up against 4 of each turtle and 2 shredders and 2 splinters. So all of your secondary characters are a little bit more difficult to come by.
And 2 foot soldiers.
Oh yeah, and 2 foot soldiers.
Right.
So
we do have some available at shoppcn.com. That includes the basic line that's out right now. We also have some of the talking turtles that are slightly bigger and they talk. And then we got some of the simple vehicles, which are like there's a skateboard, and a
motorized skateboard, and a ninja bike, and the deluxe vehicles.
We have the deluxe, which is the sewer surfboard thing. I don't know.
All I know is each one of them come with exclusive figures, exclusive Ninja
deluxe,
Wrath,
the deluxe ones,
and a exclusive Red Foot Soldier.
Yep. So look for those at shoppcn.com, and if you can't find them in your local area, help a brother out. Obviously the pricing is slightly higher, but it's a collector store, and we obviously don't order 400 cases to get awesome pricing. We only order 1 or 2.
Right.
Also, be aware that this Friday, the collector's line should be hitting our store. We got several cases of those, and we'll have those available. And I know those aren't really out anywhere yet, so I don't know if we're going to get them like way ahead of everybody else or what. But those we'll have out. And one more, since I'm talking about it, for all you bronies out there, we do have the My Little Ponies Friendship is Magic 3-packs. The sets, which is like the Apple Family set. They're similar to the blind bag ponies, the tube style, but they're in a 3-pack. And we have the Cloudsdale 3-pack, and then we have the Princess one, which is like the Prince, the Princess, and Twilight Sparkle.
I know it's crazy, but
they're super hot right now.
I'm so weird about the minifigures. I've said many times that I don't know really how I feel about the whole blind bag thing, but I love these My Little Ponies. I have to kind of consider myself a little bit of a brony based on these blind bag My Little Ponies. They're pretty sweet.
The Friendship is Magic is the best thing that happened to My Little Ponies forever. They're actually helping out the line, and right now people care about it, and they're actually making decent minifigures.
They're really sweet, especially the sparkly clear ones. I love those.
And and one more thing, since I'm talking about it, Marvel Legends Wave 2, bam, hit our store. We only got like one case. So
Black and green Spider-Man.
yeah, big time Spider-Man and a bunch of other random figures I can't even think of right now. But if you want to get those, shop PCN. I think we got like 1 or 2 available of every figure. So, anyways,
I think we're gonna take a break.
News? Any more news? We're not gonna break. We're just keep going.
We'll just keep going. No break. No
Yeah.
break. All right.
I don't even know why we started the break.
Well, welcome back, guys. Now we're gonna take a look at the fan corner and answer some of your questions. All right.
Okay.
So,
Guess we're doing that. Go ahead.
our first question is that not where we're at?
Go ahead.
So our first question comes from Clone Yoshi. And he says, "Hey guys, if they made Voltron Mini-Mates, would you buy them?"
No. Because I don't like Voltron that much. But it would be a good idea.
If they all connected together to make the Voltron
Yeah.
robot from Lions, yes. If they were just regular Mini-Mates that, you just stood up and put on a shelf, probably not.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, the Voltron thing, I never really got into it. It never was a thing for me. I like the mech thing, I like Robotech. I like Thunderbirds. but I don't really care about Voltron. I don't know why.
Because I love the Voltrons.
But I think in a mini-mate form, that would be really smart and probably would sell a crap ton, and I would order the crap out of them and sell them here in the store. So yes, good idea. I hope they do it. But do I care about it personally? No, not really. Sorry.
Our next question comes from Albatraz. He says, "Hey guys, if every toy in the world ran for president..."
Was there... We've had a problem. Okay. He put how to spell his name because Dirt keeps pronouncing it weird. It's Albatraz.
That's exactly what I said. Albatraz.
I was telling Dirt so he knows.
If every toy in the world ran for president, which would you vote for? Shredder.
Yeah, for sure, Shredder.
Shredder.
He would be the best. That or Cobra Commander. I don't know. It's a toss-up between Shredder and Cobra Commander. I mean, Shredder talks a good game, and you can steal stuff, and you can live how you want to live. I mean, watch Turtles 1, you understand. And then we got Cobra Commander, who just wants to keep everything uniform, and apparently if you're a Cobra soldier, you can just do whatever the hell you want. So I kind of like the idea of both things going on. Shredder's so less greedy. He likes to give to his people. And I'm not going to Shredder just because he's not as greedy. Cobra Commander wants everything for himself.
That's right.
Shredder's like, here, take all this stuff.
Take some cigarettes.
Play some video games.
Spin that wheel.
Go play. But fun. So he seems like he likes to party. Although he seems like he gets more pissed off than Cobra Commander. It might actually kill you.
He does seem...
Cobra Commander would just send you do some bogus job and you would hate. I think Shredder would just kill you. So that's a toss-up. You get some good things here, you get some good things here. Whatever. It'd be a good race. Shredder versus Cobra Commander. I'd vote in that election.
All right. Our next question comes from Mega Big John 28. And he says, "Greetings to everyone at PCN. I've been a fan for a long time and recently decided to join. Thanks for joining. It's about time. Where you been?"
Yeah, hopefully the rest of you guys can maybe try that out. See how it fits. Jointheforums.com.
This question is for everybody on this week's show. So that's intern Rick and Killen. That's us.
Okay. I got an answer just for you.
Due to the increasing popularity of blind bag minifigures, what toy franchise would you really want to see jump into blind bag minifigures?
Ooh, I know. I think G.I. Joe would really benefit from this right now. They're kind of in a weird... Since the movie's kind of pushed back and the toy lines that came out... well, bless you, sir.
Oh my goodness. Sorry.
Now that the toys that hit the market the first couple waves have already gone, and there might be a few at some of your random Toys R Us or whatever. Really? I'm talking here.
I'm sorry.
So, I think a cool, just maybe a 25th style, I mean, obviously a 30th anniversary style remake of vintage figures in a blind pack would be cool. I'd like that.
I think I would like to see 90s Disney after-school cartoon blind bag minifigures.
What?
Chippendale Rescue Rangers, DuckTales, Tailspin. My train of thought on this is I remember getting them in cereal boxes whenever I was a kid and absolutely loving these things. You know, they were just, PVC figures about 2 inches tall, and they were awesome. So I think those would make
speaking
Disney
of
character blind
speaking
bag
of cereal toys, I was just Mini Mates is probably needs to do a blind bag right now too. I'm looking at one. I was in the cereal aisle, and going down. Every time I go down the cereal aisle, I don't eat cereal anymore. So I'm like, who cares cereal? But I have a little daughter, and I always look at the cereals and it's like, what would she eat? Obviously, anything chocolate. But I'm looking at the box, going,
no
man,
toys.
This sucks.
There's
man.
no toys in cereal.
I hate these boxes. It's depressing going down there because I'm like, why don't they just stop letting the one kid that chokes on it ruin it for everybody, and just let us get a toy? But then I can't remember what it is now. I'm hate myself, but I saw there was a box of cereal that actually had a toy inside of it. I was like, what? And my phone camera
Even if it's a crappy
broken.
toy, it makes me want to go buy it.
But I was going to take a picture of it, and I was like, wow. But there's some, I don't know what it is, and I need to go back and look, and I feel stupid for even bringing it up. But there is now a box of cereal that actually has a physical toy in the box. And I think it was in its own little, instead of being like at the bottom. Because, it used to be at the very bottom of the bag would be the toy, or inside the box underneath the bag,
right?
What brand. I think Kellogg's did a good job bagging it separately. But this toy was actually in the box, but it was through a window.
Oh, so you could actually see the toy.
You could rip it out if you needed to. So I was like, oh.
So I remember whenever they did the Ninja Turtles cereal, it came with a free bowl, and the bowl was just taped to the outside of the box. And I think Batman cereal came with free Batman comics. Which
I don't remember that.
If none of you tasted Batman cereal, it tasted just like King Vitamin or Captain Crunch.
King Vitamin?
Yeah,
I don't remember
that's. Hit the forums, guys. Let me hear your King Vitamin stories.
Is that like the knockoff Captain Crunch?
It could be. It could be.
King Vitamin. I don't want nothing that talks about vitamin. I don't care if it's royal or not.
Our next question comes from Nick, the toy columnist.
Yeah.
He says, will you guys buy the MOTUC sub if it is confirmed that day of sales on Matty will not be offered? I am so mad at Mattel for this, and I love Masters Classics. I can't afford the sub, so with no day of sales, I guess I'm out. Question 2. Maybe we should answer the first question first.
Number 1, yes. If they say you can't get them, I have to. And it's like, I don't even want to, but I can't have this hole in my collection.
Right?
That's the problem. I'm this far into it where I feel like they know they got most of us. It's either I have to give up Masters completely and keep a handful of figures and drop the rest of everything else, or I have to continue on. And it's and this is the only way I'm justifying it right now, because I haven't bought a subscription, but I'm right on the fence. I either have to go, I'm buying this and I'm going to, and I need everything. Minus, only figures, because I don't care about the vehicles. I don't care about the accessory packs and all that crap. Do I stop now and just keep what I got and be happy with that? Or do I buy everything, and then if I ever have to sell my collection, or if I want to get out of it, is it better to sell it as a full collection versus pieces? So that's the other problem. I feel like if I just sell it as a full collection, I'll have a good chance of getting rid of it one day if I need to, which I don't know how. I always feel like when I buy stuff, I always feel like I have to have an exit plan. I could justify buying this, knowing that I could sell it if I need to. So, in my mind, that equals it didn't cost me nothing.
Right.
Even though I never sold anything in mine.
It's an investment, even though you don't physically have the money there anymore. Knowing that
I think it's just from owning a toy store. It's because I have no plans of selling anything I've ever bought, and I haven't. Everything I bought myself, I still have, and that's the problem. I got a full basement completely stacked of product. I'm like, geez, I need to sell some of this.
That's why you need to let me have one of those shadow wheels.
But I just can't. But in my mind, I'm like, it didn't cost me anything because I could sell this and I'll get all my money back. So really, I didn't lose any money. I shifted from a cash form to a toy form, and one day I'm going to shift it back from a toy form to a cash form. So I don't know.
I'm to the point where they haven't even announced that yet, and I'm already ready to sign up. And I haven't done it yet. I've done a pretty good job of building a Masters Classics carded and loose collection solely off of day of and secondary market sales. And, you know, I'm just about ready. The whole idea that, you know, I've just got to commit to $25 from now until January is very, very appealing, knowing that, you know, it won't start until after then, but knowing that Ram Man, King He-Man, you know, Fang Man, Natessa, like all of these really high demanded wanted figures are going to be coming out this year.
Let's look at it this way. You know, let's just say that for the most part, most of the stuff is going to be available. But you know Ram Man's not going to be.
No, there is no way.
You know, like certain figures, like the 2 or 3 that you really, really want, you know you're going to get screwed on those.
Because you've got to know that there are some subscribers out there that are scalpers that are buying up these things in droves and, you know, turning around and selling them. And if they have the option or the access to buy those things early, what is going to stop them from buying, you know, as many as they want, except for quantity limits, which are what, 10?
No, and you know what? It's funny about Mattel's system, and just so, in case you guys didn't know, if you go to the website and it says limit 5, if you buy 5 and then go and complete your order and then just go back and reorder another 5
more.
You can buy 4 more. You're not limited to 5 per account. You can only buy 5 at a time. So, just so you know, that's a little tip out there. But yeah, those will be totally scalped and crazy high. And I almost feel like I need a subscription just so I can have the access to them in case I want to do that. So, I don't know.
Yeah. Our next question comes from Cavalier Chris. And he says, "Hey guys, question for all there, whoever's there. I just watched the San Diego Comic-Con footage of Major Matt Mason vintage figure, and this got me wondering. Do you all think this is a growing trend of bringing back classic toy lines like Major Matt, the numerous 12-inch G.I. Joes, the world's greatest superheroes from Mego, and Outer Spacemen, to show modern kids how cool they were compared to some of today's stuff? If so, what's the next line you all would like to see? I'd have to go with $6 Million Man figures. I had original Steve Austin figures and his rocket ship repair station. Seeing Major Matt's video reminded me of this since there was a similar look to the line. Also, do these new relaunches, should they be played with or just collected? I'm all for collecting and taking care of your line, but I'm thinking let's show kids how cooler older toys are. All the best, Chris."
Okay. First of all, let me just say this about $6 Million Man. I don't think that remake makes any sense. It was a cool vintage toy to me. If I think of vintage toy, for some reason I picture that toy in my head, and I feel like if you remake that, it loses that vintage feel. Right. So I have a problem with that being remade, and I don't even care about the figure, and it really wasn't part of my childhood at all. But when I think of vintage toys, like for some reason, and I don't know why, maybe it's from the 40-year-old version, it's stuck in my head. That is the figure I think, and I don't want certain things to be remade just because it's an iconic piece of vintage toy to me, and if you remake it, it kind of loses that. And maybe that doesn't make sense, but I don't know. That's how I feel about it. Secondly, I don't know if any of the remakes that have occurred so far have, like, any kids actually looked at them and go, "Oh, these are awesome! You guys had awesome stuff." They look at our like simple PVC plastic pieces that we just barely move, and they look at their new cool, like, light and sound LED inspired, voice activated toys, and I just don't think they connect that those are awesome. And we only see it that way because that's what we thought is awesome, because we grew up with those. They grow up with video games and like 3D virtual reality crap. So I don't think they look at those and go, "Those are awesome." They might be like, "Yeah, those are cool. Super dumb," and go on to their stuff.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, because look at how many lines have had relaunches, and look at how many lines have longevity, like G.I. Joe, or,
yeah, but
2000X.
We're not talking about adult
Ninja
collectors. We're
Turtles
talking about kids. I mean, obviously, as an adult collector, you're going to buy it for your kid to try to get them to buy it. But I don't think that the kids, honestly, are thinking it is as cool as we do. Especially with, like, they got Beyblades, man. That stuff spins and pops open, and
Beyblades kind of suck.
We never had anything like that.
What is the playability of Beyblades though? Against
look how big
against
it was.
Creating an entire adventure of characters in battle.
Yeah, but you gotta understand that's not how it works anymore. Kids aren't created like that anymore.
That's a problem. Fix it.
Just saying, they don't. Kids aren't playing outside anymore. You can't even go outside. You'll get freaking kidnapped. You know what I mean?
You could still have adventures in your front room or
global
your
warming.
bedroom.
You get hurt.
Did.
You can't do nothing outside anymore. Stick and rock with my best toys. A box, empty box. Jesus, I mean, we can go on all day with the empty box. Give that to a kid now. Give them an empty box to my daughter, and she's like, "What is this?" And she'll put stuff into it. Like, thanks for giving me a box to put my really cool stuff in. Lame-o.
Our next question comes from CXB452. And he says, "What's up? How are you?" Good.
I'm actually super well. Thank you for asking.
Got a question about the Play Arts figures from San Diego Comic-Con. Now, I know you're not the biggest fans of them due to the price and their largeness, but what are your thoughts about what was shown? I was very impressed by the Dark Knight Returns Bane and Batman figures, as well as the Dark Knight Returns Batman and Tomb Raider figure, and the news that they have the rights for the Man of Steel. I have the Arkham Asylum figures, which is incredible. The detail and style and the figures blow away pretty much everything from Mattel and Hasbro. And while they are $60 a piece, I'm going to have loads more money now that Mattel has killed He-Man again.
Well, there you go. Let me just say this first, just so there's no misunderstanding. The Play Art stuff is like probably the best stuff ever. The problem is it just costs too much. I just can't. I can't let go of that much money on a toy and feel good about it as easily as I can. I could easily buy 10. Let's say it's $60. I could feel better about buying six $10 figures than I can one $60 figure. Even though it's the same price, it's just I can't do it. But I understand the quality's better. I know it is. I've seen them. They're super awesome. They're like the best ever. Like there's nothing better. And I would prefer to have them. I just wish they weren't so expensive.
I'll take $8.99 Turtles any day.
So I mean, you see the Play Art stuff, don't you?
Yeah,
like
I mean they are absolutely amazing, but
it's just too.
I want to be able to buy a toy and still be able to eat, or buy a toy. And,
personally, I'm just cheap.
You know, that's definitely part of it for me too. That's why I'm like all about the $8.99 Turtle figures. Those are perfect. Good scale, good articulation, good everything.
I gotta be honest, $8.99. I'm even like, that's why I like blind bag stuff. I'm like, $2. Okay, fine. $3. Oh, well, she can buy one.
Right.
Even if it's like $7, because we see like the little like mini packs and stuff. It was like $7.99. $6.99. Jeez. Like I don't know. It's the price. Like I'm still stuck in like '80s pricing. like I can't.
I totally agree with you. I'm just. I don't know if the kids or the younger generation out there really understands that Masters of the Universe figures were $4.99. No joke. And that was high.
He said no joke.
That was high. Like, I mean, you could get them. I think I've got a Modulok box at home with a $1.99 price tag on it.
Well, I mean, obviously, 30 years of increases will happen, but I think it's because I'm so used to, like, I have memories of buying that stuff at those prices that every time I see new toys and they're like $8, $9, $10, $7, I'm like, God, for that? Even though I really want it and I buy it anyways, I'm just like, I'm buying it. I'm like, I don't know, anything over like $20 seems expensive to me. I don't know what it is.
Anything over $10 seems expensive to me. Anything over $15 is pushing the limit, which I do a lot with Masters Classics, obviously.
Because I do it with everything. Like if I go to a grocery store and I'm buying, like, let's say some steaks, and it's like, it says $11 for 2 steaks. I'm like, Jesus, $11. And I go and find the cheap steak that you get the big monster, like probably the terriblest cut ever for like $3. And I'm like, yeah.
You just go buy a big roast.
But then you find like a little piece of steak and it's like $10, $12. I'm like, what? Like I understand the quality difference, but in my mind that seems ridiculous. And I just every time I go grocery shop and then I put all the stuff in and it scans out and it's like over $100. I'm like, for what? Like I get mad. Like, I feel like then I look at the receipt to make sure they actually didn't, like, triple charge me on something. Because I always feel like, they screwed me somehow. I'm like, no, they didn't. Everything's just expensive these days.
All right. Our next question comes from Lamengo. And he says, hey, guys.
Hey.
So 2 questions.
Yep.
Now that Godzilla's teaser trailer for 2013 has been hinted at during Comic-Con, do you think Godzilla toys will come back to America?
I think Bandai's been actually, they've been out for the last year. They're in a weird scale and they're in a weird box, but if you look, there are some Godzilla figures out there. We actually carried them. I think we still do.
I think they've done 6 different ones so far.
Well, they're on Series 2 so far of these, like, 6.5-inch kind of vinyl-y figures. They're actually really nice figures. But they come on the world's terriblest cards, though. They're like a paper card. Oh, here. There you go. So, yeah, there's one right there.
Godzilla from Bandai.
So Bandai's been doing these, and 6.5 scale. This second wave we got now is a Godzilla from 1968, as he appeared in the first original movie. And we got Mecha Godzilla, and then Gigan, however you want to pronounce it. And that's on this next wave that's out. These are like we got them for $20. They're actually really cool figures, and they sold out pretty good. Look at that! Look at that face. That even looks like old face. How terrible did it look back in the day? Awesome. So yeah, but look, like I said, they come on this like really terrible like paper card. Look at that.
Yeah, it's
and here's the problem: when I ship these, I have a problem because they're like elongated and weird.
It really does look, like something that would be imported or something that would be packaged for like Dollar General or something. But they are really nice figures for.
And it's funny because this one actually has his tail wrapped in here. If you can see it, he's like wrapped in here. All the other figures, the tail like sticks out like out to here. So that as a retailer, I'm putting these on the pegs, and I got like this long piece of tail sticking out here. So, but yes, they're here, they're out, and they actually have a different scale, I believe. I think they have a smaller scale figures out. They're coming out or are out right now. I can't remember, but yeah, they'll just blow up. They'll get bigger.
There you go.
Maybe somebody else will get the license and it'll make more because I'm about tired of Bandai owning it forever.
And then the second question is, why hasn't there been a movie where Ernest P. Worrell, Mr. Bean, and Pee Wee Herman go on a wacky trip? Now, before I elaborate that we are not a movie podcast, so I don't know why we're really qualified to answer this.
We're pop culture people.
We are pop culture people. I have to break your heart and let you know that Jim Varney died.
Oh, I forgot about that. Damn. I'm still hurting over that. Why should they like spoiler? Oh, spoiler alert. Ernest is dead.
Ernest is dead.
Yeah, I haven't went back and watched those movies in a long time. Like Ernest Goes to Camp and Scared Stupid and all that stuff. I need to go back and watch them because
they're so dumb.
They were like the best movies growing up ever.
Supposedly, Paul Reubens does have something in the works for 2 different Pee Wee Herman comebacks. I believe it's been in the talks for a little while, but, something may come of it at some point, but he has been talking about doing a feature-length Pee Wee's Playhouse movie and a Pee Wee's Playhouse cartoon.
I got no love. I liked the show growing up. I watched it. The movies I didn't really care for. And right now, honestly...
Pee Wee's Big Adventure. Love Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
And honestly, if they made another movie right now, I don't think I'd care.
I don't know... With there not really having been any form of media support or any reason for him to do anything right now, I don't really know.
Well, obviously he knows that in the world of pop culture, rehashing old properties right now is super hot. So obviously somebody's like, we might be able to make some money off this.
Well,
get it going.
That's very true. So.
And luckily for him, people don't care about his misdeeds, and they just want to see Pee Wee. So. Good luck. What's next?
I don't even know if I should.
You can't. Why?
Well, here. I'll just read it, whatever.
Who is it?
It comes from Dino, and he says, hey guys, recently after posting a piece of my photography on my Chat-A-Day Tumblr, I received an email accusing me of attacking the fan community, Toy Guru, Maddie, He-Man.org, and even Dan for posting such an image in the email ended calling me a hater, and I could go bleep myself. All attempted replies were bounced back, so the fact that this person had to find my Tumblr, found my portfolio website to get my business email amazed me at his and her determination to insult me. So my question, after hearing my experience and yours, with all the fandom you guys have been a part of over the years, what is the lowest point you have seen in any fan community?
We've had a couple people like on our forums back in the early days when we were all together still with Duval and Pixel Dan and all us were still doing that new toy smell. There was a couple like super ridiculous people that got on there and started crap and talking crap and just kind of made it not fun for everybody else to be there. We had to kick out. I mean, honestly, we never really had that many people. I mean, the worst we get now is some random douchebag on YouTube. Hey, YouTube. Talking crap about us, saying, "Hey, you did this wrong. You did this is wrong, or you're dumb, or you guys are a bunch of nerds, or whatever." And honestly, I don't even. It doesn't even really bother me. It's funny to me because it's like
for every negative
guy,
comment, there's 20 good.
Well,
for every negative, there's 20 good things.
I'm not one of those people that you need to like make me feel good about myself, and I don't really like it. If you talk crap about me, I got a tough skin, and it doesn't really bother me. I just think it's funny that people go out of their way to make insults at people as if their words are going to like damage somebody. Now, some of us are a little more vain, those people have gone and left, but like it doesn't like I know like Dirt gets really offended, but he'll never admit to it. But he'll reply back and be like, blah, 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 you suck, and it's like. I'm like, why are you doing that? Who cares? I look at it, I just laugh. Now, if you're personally insulting me and be like, killing your store sucks and it's dirty and we hate you, and I'm like, oh man, we gotta talk about my stuff. Like, I'm more offended if you talk about my things versus me personally.
Yeah, I mean, really, that's... I hear about crappy stuff happen all the time. I mean,
people are just dumb.
People are dumb and people are mean. But the worst stuff that I would say that I've personally experienced would be the negative feedback coming from the people who have seen what we do. And just like I was saying, for every negative comment that there is, there's 20 other positive reasons to do what we do. And
I mean, we're just two guys with a camera. We got a tripod, we got a camera, we got a light.
I'm not gonna let some a-hole out there who doesn't have the initiative or the drive to actually get up and do something stop me from doing what I'm doing. Like, why? So just keep preaching on, brother.
Power to the rig.
So our next question comes from Orko.
Yep.
What's up, Orko?
Hey.
He says, hey guys, been a while. Been going nuts at D-pad designs. I don't know if this has been asked before, but I'll try again, if so.
Go ahead. Do it. Give it to me.
He's got like 5 questions.
So let's do it.
So you didn't give no precursor to no 5 questions, but I'll read all 5 of them.
I got things to do. Let's go.
With all the awesomeness of toy lines in classic form, what other old school toy lines would you like to see updates of for classic lines?
How about some Snorks? I need some new Snorks. Some new PVC.
Snorks?
PVC small, like 2-inch Snorks. I got some of the old vintage ones. I like some more. Those are more like a fast food premium style toy, but I kind of like PVC mini figures right now. So, and I for some reason I don't know what it is. I love the Snorks.
I love the Snorks. Who doesn't love the Snorks?
Who doesn't love All Star? And I kind of like, and I like the Smurfs too. I like the PVC Smurfs. How about California Raisins? Let's do that again.
There we go.
That was a really big part of my childhood growing up.
Yeah, Hardee's, bring back the raisins.
Yeah, I ate at Hardee's all the time. I would love to get some more California Raisins. I thought it was a terrible idea. Even growing up, I was like, "This is stupid," but I like them. So.
Right. I've got 2 things that I would like to see.
Okay.
Marshall Bravestar. And then I can never remember.
You're one of those guys, huh?
I am one of those guys. Western science fiction. The little like hooded guys that whenever you took the the cloak off, they had like a reflective sticker that went all over.
Oh yeah.
What were Visionaries? I would like to see Visionaries come back. Those were awesome. I love those toys.
Yeah, those are kind of cool. I never knew, like growing up, I never knew what they were. I had some, but I was like, I don't know what this is, but it's a toy. I'm playing with it. And I saw some Visionaries on card. Well, we was at like a toy show. I think we saw them. And I was like, those would be nice to have. Don't know what I'd do with them, but they'd be cool. Right now, I'm stuck on Bucky O'Hara figures. I'm trying to get a Bucky on a card.
Oh, you're stuck on Bucky?
Yeah.
I'm stuck on.
Since I got those too.
I'm stuck on vintage Ninja Turtles right now. I need like 6 figures to have all of the secondary characters complete.
Which ones?
Well, freaking Scratch.
Oh, of course.
And Hotspot.
Which one's that?
The Dalmatian.
Oh yeah.
Fireman.
Man, we've had him a couple times.
Sandstorm. Half Court.
Camel.
Yeah. Or the Giraffe.
Giraffe, whatever.
Sandstorm's the camel. Right. Mona Lisa and Merdude. I think those are...
Wow, Mona Lisa and Merdude, really?
Yeah.
Those are just kind of common.
Those two are pretty common. I just haven't had the opportunity to pick them up. But, man, Hotspot and Scratch are killing me. Because those are...
We've had it. The only one we never had is Scratch. But we've had the other ones.
Oh, he's killing me. So, if anybody out there knows where I can...
Yeah,
find some
here's the Scratch, Rick. Here you go. No big deal.
Yeah.
I'm sitting on like 12 of them.
Find me a Scratch. If the TMNT line takes off, what would you want to see as the next 6 characters?
I don't know.
Well, I mean,
I just wanted the Turtles really and Shredder.
I mean, if the first wave is only the four Turtles, and we're talking that the second wave would be 6 figures, I think it would only make sense that we would, that they would do Splinter, April, Shredder, Krang, a Foot Soldier,
Casey,
and Casey Jones.
I would. Here's what I want. I need a Shredder, obviously. Rocksteady and Bebop. I would need.
I can't believe I didn't say Rocksteady.
I need a Foot Soldier, and then I also need a Mouser, because the Mouser is really like, I don't know what it is about the Mouser, but I love the Mouser.
And I would kind of want a Baxter Stockman. And maybe even a Slash. Slash is one of my favorite characters.
That's a stretch for me, but okay.
I love the Slash. The next question's for Dirt, but we're going to answer it anyway, if we can. When you listed the TV shows you like, I think you left one out. I'll give you a hint. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry about that. I know you know that I'm not the truth. X-Files? We're guessing Dirt's a show that
he likes that
Millennium
show. So yeah, he loves X-Files too. So.
Well, maybe Dirt will properly answer that later. His next question is, this question is a little selfish, but I'm curious. I know you guys have sampled some D-pad design products, and I'm wondering if there are anything you've seen out there that you would pay money for. So I guess I gotta
be honest. Every time I look, and I'm talking to you specifically, Orko. Every time I look at your page on Facebook, just look at D-pad designs, look it up, and you can see his artwork. I've seen a lot of things that you've made that I'd be like, that'd be cool. I'd buy that. Let me give you this thought. As a retailer, I've looked at your stuff and I'm like, I think we could sell these. I think people would actually pay money, and I've asked people. And some of these guys don't necessarily think that people would pay money. Like Dirt, I don't think Dirt thinks that people would pay money for them. He says, while he does like them, and he's like, these are awesome. I like it for myself. But would I buy it out if I saw them somewhere? I got to say, I think absolutely somebody would pay, and I don't know what the price point would be. Maybe $10, $15. I mean, keep them small, obviously. And the big wall murals, I think people pay $30, $40 for those. So my thought is like, man, if I can, get some wholesales and put them in here, and I order a bunch of them, can I sell them? Maybe. I don't know. I'd like to try and find out, though. Do you think people would buy those?
I think people would buy them.
You'd have to keep the price points down, though. They'd have to be fairly cheap, because it's one of those things like you don't need it and you don't want to spend a bunch of money, but you do want it.
I think, depending on the size, if you did them for between $7 and $10, I think people would eat those things up. Really, I mean,
maybe magnets. How about some magnets?
Magnets would probably be an
just
awesome
real
idea.
small 2-3 inch ones that are like just the Sprite, whatever. You know, on a magnet form.
I took. You gave me a Man-at-Arms, a Pixel Man-at-Arms for Christmas last year, and it's hanging up on my wall. Like I think I don't necessarily think that like in ways where you put them in stands, so you've got to stand them up on a shelf, would necessarily be like a mass produced.
I think that was a good idea. I think people would, because that's what actually got me thinking. Man, people would just buy this and put it on their shelf.
So, but I love the idea of like magnets or wall hangings or anything like that. I mean, that the Man-at-Arms is one of my favorite not your typical Masters thing that I have. So,
yeah, I want some more Orko. Here's the thing. I would like to have some of the smaller ones, and I think we could sell them in the store. Maybe we make a deal. But I think, well, I mean, it's not worth my time. I don't make money too. But I think that people would buy them. I think they would have to be all key characters, though. I mean, you'd have to keep it Mega Man, Zelda, Mario. I mean, you'd have to be super knowledgeable because people would buy them. I think I could sell them to people who want to buy a gift for their husband or their friend who likes Mario. I don't know what to get him. I'm like, I bet you doesn't have this. You know what I mean? I think they're perfect gifts.
The Excite Bike, the Excite Bike one that you did, that is awesome.
Yeah,
that figure
was a good idea.
Super awesome.
That was a super good idea.
So yeah, I mean, key characters. I don't know, man. I mean, really, that type of artistic outlet, really, the sky's the limit.
We gotta keep going. We gotta go. Keep going.
My bad.
Next question.
His next question is he just wants he would like to know, did we ever receive the Pop Culture Network sign from D-Pad Designs?
Yeah, I think Scotty Cash gave it to me. Yes, I'm trying to figure out, because here's the thing: eventually we're going to move. Either I'm going to move into a new home or area, or we're going to move into a new building, and all that you see is going to be all completely different. We're actually going to set up a studio place or an actual fixture. And shoot everything like that, and we're going to use that there. So we do got it, and thank you for it, and we're going to keep it, and we're going to wait until we actually have a spot to put it where it could be like a permanent thing. So thank you.
All right, we got 2 more questions. The next one is from Darth J23, and this question is for you, Killen.
Do it.
He says, a few months back I asked if you ever thought we would get a Punisher minifigure from Lego. Let's see.
It's possible now. Well, the guns. I don't know. Cricket. That's my thing. Like, Lego doesn't like guns, so.
Yeah, the way the question's worded is kind of weird. So, and he already asked about getting a Deadpool figure as well.
Yeah. Well, Deadpool's out. It's in the Marvel line. It's the one that has Magneto, Wolverine, and Deadpool. I think there's the 3, and it comes in a helicopter, maybe. It's like a $20 set. Best set Marvel. The best Lego set for Marvel right now is that set that has the Deadpool in it. It's a cheap one. It's got all good characters, and it's a must-have. So yes, Deadpool's there. I'm happy. Will Punisher come? I don't know, because Punisher's more adult, and these are supposed to be for kids. You know what I mean? Right. So I don't know if he's popular enough that they'll make him. But I hope they do, and they might do it as a special edition or a special figure by himself. And I hope they do, because I'd buy the crap out of it.
Our next question and last question comes from Big Dave XXL. And he says, hey guys, I was excited to hear that Matty was doing a Watchmen line next year. Really?
I'm not. I think that's totally like
that's a cop-out. You don't think that they could have just added those figures to the DC UC line?
That could have been a wave.
So he says that he was excited about them until he saw the pictures of the figures. They don't quite look like what you would expect from a $25 figure. Is it just me? Am I missing something? Absolutely not, because the DC UC figures don't look like they're necessarily worth $25 a piece, but they are. So I don't think you missed anything at all. They are overpriced. I think we all know that at this point.
It's such a popular line. They're just trying to see what they can do, I think. I think they all know that it's going downhill, and they're just going to get the last couple dollars they can.
Yeah.
I think they know Masters is going to fall out. Sorry, guys, it's happening. It's downhill. There's not much left.
There is still quite a bit left.
Not really.
There's a lot that people are forgetting.
And well, I mean, you're digging deep, man, because you're getting out of the main characters. You're in some deep
No, I'm sticking to the idea that they said that ideally they would reissue every figure that ever had a vintage figure. And that is what I want to happen before this line ends. And there are still a lot of figures that had vintage, a lot of characters that had vintage figures.
Let's say this year goes like terrible, and they only get like 50% their goal. Well, it's obviously going to happen. They're already in production, so they're going to finish out the year. It just means next year there's like if it's terrible again next year, that could be the last year. So I mean, they definitely have another year already guaranteed.
I don't know. I mean, they've already said that they're if it comes down to it, 4 to 6 figures a year, $30 to $35 a pop. They know that Masters is going to make money. Just because it's not making it the way they want it.
Yeah, I kind of wish they would do that, just because they have to be very careful about what they choose. Because if they do a couple bad mistakes, they're done.
Yeah.
So that would force them to make good choices and give us stuff we really want versus stuff that they're trying to like get into the line because they're fans themselves. So.
All right. Well, that wraps it up for this week.
Yay! It's just me. How'd we do? You do okay?
We do all right. We're bringing it back.
Are you happy?
Bringing it back.
Are you happy? Will you watch me now? Will you love me? All right, guys. So that's it for It Figures, the Toy and Action Figure Podcast on the Pop Culture Network. If you could, please visit shoppcn.com, where every purchase you make helps support the Pop Culture Network as a whole, including, obviously paying for website stuff and cameras, equipment. Also, be sure to visit Pop Culture Network, and where you can check out our daily contribution to the world, our shows and articles and stuff like that. Also, if you want, go to jointheforums.com, which is a quick link to our forums on the Pop Culture Network.
Submit those questions.
And there you can submit questions for next week, or you can talk about other great stuff with other people. It's free, it takes a couple minutes, sign up. It's not going to, nothing's going to happen. Just sign up, man. Be a part of the community.
Just sign up.
All you guys on YouTube just watching and talking to your gang, you can go on the Pop Culture Network forums and talk to the gang, and people actually will read it and care.
Yeah.
So
we'll reply back on there.
Yeah, we don't really reply on the YouTube that much. We do sometimes, not too much though. So go there and we'll definitely get a reply. Let's see, what else? Anything you want to say?
We got the Turtles. We got the Marvel Legends. We got the ponies.
Yeah. Yeah. So there you go.
There we go.
Stay tuned next week where the show gets good. All right. So that's it, guys. See ya.